Garth doesn't refer to himself as a boss. He doesn't want to be called a boss. He doesn't want to be called a doctor. We call him G.
Normally you would find that you know, the diesel will be a lot less. Somebody stole my bicycle. That's the short answer. Because somebody stole my bicycle, I needed to, this was when I was in second year, I needed to find some way of earning money to buy another bicycle. And so I started working for a professor on campus, Prof. Randall Hepburn, cutting up bees for him. And I got fascinated by bees while doing this. And so then I started keeping bees and started taking bees out of people's houses and doing bee removals around town. And then while I was doing those bee removals, I started putting bees into boxes and keeping them in my parents' backyard, and then their gardeners started pinching my bees and making mead, or critical. So that's how I got interested in mead, is basically because my bees were being stolen to make booze. I was a student at Rhodes and I needed to do a third year project, so I did a third year project in this traditional mead, and then I did my PhD on the mead, and part of my PhD was to actually build a meadery and prove that we could export and sell our product globally and that sort of thing. So the idea was not to produce a thesis that just gets put on a shelf. I wanted to produce a thesis that actually became a living, working, breathing type of thing. First bit of research was to develop the technology to make mead, which is honey wine. And we convert honey that we get from rural areas like the Transkei, we convert that honey into mead that we sell in America. So basically you've got somebody in New York buying honey from a lady in Lusikisiki in the Transkei. If you take a bottle of mead, basically the main ingredients in that are honey and labour and time. So honey, labour and time are all things that you're paying South African people for.
There is, I'm just doing the theory side in the classroom, explaining some few things before we go to do the practical thing, and then Phumlani will be showing them. If we talked about the queen in the class, and then Phumlani have to show them the queen, and then so I have to wear also protective clothing.
So in this way, you met earlier on, she's trained probably somewhere between 450 and 500 beekeepers. We haven't tallied up recently, but she's got another beekeeping training next week where she'll do another 21 beekeepers, and later on the week after that. And it just, we're constantly training new beekeepers, and that's really where we've created a lot of jobs. So basically everything about what we're doing is made with local, it's made with local ingredients. And then in addition to that, we power our own vehicles with our own fuel that we make from local ingredients too. Our technology for making mead can also be used for converting sugar from sugarcane into ethanol for fuel. Basically, to make biodiesel, you mix fat, like cooking oil, with alcohol and a catalyst, and that catalyst is just caustic soda, basically drain cleaner. And so then you end up with two products, biodiesel, which we can use as fuel in this vehicle, and filling up the vehicle with biofuel. Works okay in old engines like this. I have a fondness for this vehicle because it was made in 1984, the year that I moved to Grahamstown. And in this vehicle's life, it's done 1.36 million kilometers. My personal target that I set myself is that I wanted, by the time I was 40, I wanted to have been responsible for getting R1 billion worth of projects invested into Grahamstown. So with the wind farm nearly in the bag, we're almost halfway there. Okay, well basically the wind farm will run along the ridge behind us here, and it'll run on the parallel ridge behind us over there. And essentially this ridge is quite strategic because we've got this big plateau behind us, and all the air comes rushing down here to the sea at certain times, and then when the cold front moves through the other way, the wind comes the other way and rushes back. So essentially there's almost always wind here. Well basically, we're very excited because on Monday this week we had the announcement that we could go ahead with this project from the Minister of Energy. So we've pretty much crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's with the whole thing, and now it's ready to go. All these things, what we do is we find an idea and find somebody to champion it and then push it out and get it going. So I feel that my role in that process is as a catalyst. I'm an ideas person that motivates and gets something going, and then somebody else takes it and makes it happen.